Hello. So, how's it going? Been a week and a half. But yeah. So, I guess first out of the gate, it's an update. So I'll show you some stuff that will hopefully help you guys. First up, there's the leaderboards. If you want to do leaderboards and you just want to do blueprints and you want to keep it like really dumb and simple, this place, Epic Leaderboards. It's free and it works, and I was like, sweet, that takes away a lot of stuff. It doesn't use Steam's leaderboards. Later on, I might like to switch over to those, but for now, it works. Yeah, it's on beta, but it works, and it's really easy, like incredibly easy. So, anyways, highly recommend this. Um, Hopefully they're stable. I'm sending emails to them to say, hey, you guys are stable, right? But they did do an update as of 4.16, so they're still going and still keeping it alive. So that seems to be solid. And then what else? There's our new garage. It's so cool. Look, it's got a van and some stuff laid out. There's a weapon that sadly probably won't make it into the game. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, the scoreboards pop up here. That will online one automatically gets populated from the Epic leaderboards. Yeah. Let me see. What is the button? F11. Yeah, there we go. Whoop. Ignore that that's not connected in the back. Bah. Anyways, your options are gonna go here. Start game. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, what else is helpful for you guys? I got another thing is if you're testing in VR and you're checking out the frame rate, for example, you will notice that your game, no matter what, sits like that. That frame. See how it says frame, game, and draw on GPU. Frame is going to just be pegged at 11, no matter what you do. The only way to unlock that. Do I have it in here? Yeah. Okay. So what you want to do is add this console command, and it's good for testing your frame rate. That's what this part is about. Sorry. That could be helpful to you is so say you're testing and trying to get a solid hit on what your game is taking, what the GPU is taking, all of that, and you're working in VR. Everything kind of locks itself down and doesn't read correctly. So what you have to do in order to get a proper read on what's going on is first you have to add this console command to somewhere where the game starts to disable vsync completely. So it's r.vsync space 0, and that disables vsync entirely. And then also inside the project settings under general, where'd you go? General settings, there you are. You have to uncheck use fixed frame rate and don't check smooth frame rate. Just leave it all for the system to do its own thing. And then after that, you have to run your game from either a console or a bat file. And so you got to say jump to the folder where your UE4 editor executable is, and then say UE4 editor.exe, and then the path to your project, and then the name of your project, space, and then dash game, space, dash emulate stereo. And what that will do is that will open up the game in, yeah, let's just see if we can jump it up right now. So we'll plug this guy in, and then we'll go into the project settings, and we'll disable that, and we'll say, yeah, we gotta compile this one. And then we say save all. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Still recording, right? Yes. Okay, cool. So then we say save all. And now that that's all set, now when I say run it via this bat, it should hopefully jump in. And it should have the game frame and all that tick goodness just totally unlocked once it launches. Or perhaps the headset is not tracking right now. Oh, there it goes. But yeah, you can see the frame now finally drops. It's the only way to get that frame to like actually read what the game is taking. My headset's not tracking right now for some reason, but you get the idea. So, and you can see the frame rate is all the way up at 150. So everything's totally unlocked now. So you can get a proper read on everything. Otherwise, the frame just and the game just the frame just pegs at 11, and the game pegs at 11, and you can't tell what is actually bringing everything down frame rate wise, because you want to start at the top and see what's dragging it down. So those are the things you got to do to get proper optimization testing with VR games. It's a little tricky to do, but it works. So hooray! And that in turn leads me into good segue. That leads me into the next part, which is my frame rate testing I've been doing. So again, just like last time, you start out where you are, or you start out removing everything, and then slowly put everything back in, or just start taking things out, see what damage they do, and then start testing, or one by one, just process of elimination. Try to do all that, because the CPU profiler seemed to give fairly inconsistent results in VR. I maybe just be reading it wrong. I couldn't really find a whole lot of great info on the CPU profiler, but that's where majority of my time is burned on this game, is the CPU, because there's all these little physics assets and all this stuff going on with the bunnies. So I know it was CPU bound, not GPU bound. Also, we're going Toon Shader, so the GPU stuff isn't complex. However, there was an overdraw issue with my particles. Watch out for overdraw. Overdraw is murder for frame rate. Use masked materials. That's key to avoid overdraw. Don't use translucent. Use masked, and I'll show you where that is in a moment too. But anyways, this big old spike to get our frame rate back up here was LOD bunnies. I hadn't done any LODing, so now the little fluffy bunnies, they have two versions. One that comes out all the time, and he's got all of this stuff that's running him and makes him able to transform to evil, rotate, attack, jump, do leap attacks, do all the stuff that the bunnies do. And then we got this LOD version of the bunny that's missing like most of the logic. It's a stripped down, it's just got like nearly nothing to it. And once the count of enemies on screen passes, right now we have it set to 100, then the ones in the background start becoming the ones that get dropped by the UFOs are now dumb bunnies. These little ones that they just know how to get towards the player, and yes, they can take damage and die, but they just kind of they're not smart, they're dumb. But that bought us, all stripping out all of that logic, the CPU bound logic, bought us this huge spike right here that got us back up to 120 frames. Well, I hit up to 140, and then I leveled out once I started putting a little back in at 120, which might buy us some room to add some other stuff in, or leave it there and try to play it safe on the minimum spec machine, because we got our min spec machine as a Radeon something, but it's the equivalent of an NVIDIA 970. So anyways, that's our min spec. But yeah, because you want to try to make sure everything can run on a min spec machine. So there was that. We did a bunch of alpha testing, and that was cool. We got some more people coming in this week, but I ate way too many donuts, and there was lots of beer for everybody, but it went well, and we had a ball. So looking forward to those results. We got some really good info on how to, I could see the Gatling gun was frustrating. Because it spun up, started firing, then would spin down, and if you pull the trigger again, it would have to spin back up, start firing. So, and people would just get angry at the controls, and there's one thing you never, ever, ever want anybody to die from. Sorry, just got to make sure I'm still recording. You never ever want to have people die from bad controls. That is the most irritating thing in the world. So yeah. So now the Gatling gun, when you pull the trigger, it goes boom, 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 and goes up. And then if you let go, yes, it starts to spin back down. But when you pull the trigger again, while it's in its spin down cycle, it can jump immediately back up to firing again. So you're like, and it goes boo, boo, and so, anyways, yes, you get the idea. So now it's you feel much more in control. It was also the gun's transformations were too slow. So fix that. What else? Yeah, the LODs. We did some work on the big bunnies. They're kind of the boss guys. I am not allowed to show them yet. Not until I think we'll get to show them at the Kickstarter. I will be poking my coworkers to be like, come on, let me show them. But yeah, they have this done it. It was a brilliant idea by one of our peeps to make it like Jaws as they're approaching. They got this and so, anyways, you'll see. They're really cool. What else? The menu obviously was completely redone. Oh, the city is looking quite beautiful. Yeah, in the background. There, I'll show you that in a little bit. But it's coming along quite a bit. Mr. Cobalt, we got to do a little more work on that, and actually it's even farther than all of this, but it's coming along quite nicely. He's tinkering and adding more, but what gave me some massive giggles is this train in the background. This train here, it's got, oh, you can't say that, that's the heavy. Oh, and they're unshaded. Well, anyways, it's got these little bunnies that are attacking this train that's flying around the city. So it drives through there and then goes through there and then through there. But yeah, it's got like bunnies on it and it's going around in the background. Oh, and I added lots. They should be if I load in this. Yeah, here they come. UFOs, and these UFOs, as you get more and more enemies, more and more of these UFOs show up. And it gets kind of like crazy how often they show up. And then so there's these random ones that just, you know, come in at random directions, but also there's a flock set of UFOs. So I have an actor that's rotating, going tick 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 like a big arm on the clock, and then underneath that is an actor that's sliding left and right. Yeah, this looks good. It's sliding left and right. So, and then as it slides left and right, it goes pop, 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 and shoots out little UFOs. And so as those shoot out, it creates basically a flock. It kind of randomizes a little bit, but it goes, and you end up with a flock of 405, or a squadron of UFOs flying in one direction solidly, and then another flying in the other direction solidly. And that way you get these squadrons along with the random ones going back and forth in it. It creates a nice effect. And yeah, these little UFO guys are, I had to LOD them down quite a lot. Where's their low-level model? Sky, yeah, here. Yeah, so these guys, super duper duper trimmed down. They just got their, yeah, they have a normal map on them. And, yeah, I don't know. It works. They're so far away you can't tell that there's not actually geometry there. And I made sure to get all the UVs on the bottom because that's all you really see. So the UVs on the bottom take up the majority of the map and not the top. The top looks like garbage, but you'll never see it. So whatever. And then let's see. Oh, the reward system. I can show you those. You think you if my headset will decide to work. Let me close this. Sure, we'll save. We'll see if we can't get my headset actually behaving itself. Because the rewards, I made it so that the when you kill X amount of bunnies, a confetti cannon goes off and shoots bunnies out over your head, and they explode, and you get bonus points, and you get a little bit of health back. Oh, and that's another thing we added in a health regen system, so that if you're sitting still long enough, like in most games, you chill out, eventually your health goes tick, 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 and starts to come back up. But the second you start shooting or being attacked or any of that, it stops. But it gives a way for people to get health back, and also the player rewards that gives people's health back. Come on, start tracking you. Track. There it goes. Okay, sorry about that. Give us a moment. So yeah, player rewards turned out. Redid the particle effects for when you kill the little guys. Because overdraw was absolutely murdering things. Overdraw is bad. Use masked for your particles, because translucency can get completely out of hand. Unless, of course, you have a really nicely set up particle system that only has a few really large particles, and so that way they can kind of just be 1 or 2 deep, or 3 even. But the second you start to get up like 8 or 12 overdraws, translucent things, it starts to really choke things down. It is just a thing with the architecture of the GPU, the GPU and the way it draws. It does not do well with overdraw at all. Or maybe I just don't know how to make it do well with overdraw. I don't know. But where'd it go? Where was I going? Oh, the rewards. Yes. So let's see if this will let me look around, hopefully. Ah, there we go. Okay, so, oh, there goes the controller. Oh, you're drunk. So, sorry. Oh yeah, and laser pointer. Added that in. And then, so I'll just jump into the game. But if we look over here, and if I hit B, yeah. Oh, ignore the videos in the background. Those are totally copyrighted. But there we go. But yeah, the enemies, they pop out, and that's their new death. Oh yeah, also, of course, there is the new effects. So, yeah, I can just show you this one. I can't show you Weapon 3 yet, but check this out. Cool, huh? It's like electricity. It's neat. Weapon 3 has this like really cool build up and then with these blow offs and what are they called? At the end of a gun where the gas blows out the side. I can't remember his name. Anyways, added that into and it's really cool. So yeah, hopefully again soon enough will come our Kickstarter and I'll be able to show a lot of more stuff. And our music is coming along. Just gosh, Dave Dexter is freaking the man if you need a musician. Let's see. So online scoreboard, Gatling gun, epic leaderboard. Yeah, that's a big list of things we've been working on. Now that we're getting towards the end, I should start doing these more and more often because there's just so much coming down the pipe, and then there's just going to be hitting bugs hard, and just really trying to polish things and flatten them out. And soon, yeah, one of the last big features I need to add in is nightmare mode. You're gonna love that. I want to add that in. I hope we get to add that in. You can't see it, but on the wall is a list of things that we really want to add in. We don't know if we can yet, but we're trying to hit things on schedule because once money's out, you have to have a minimum viable product to be able to release, and so we have to maintain that at all costs. But if there's time, or there's stuff we really want to add in. So yeah, thank you all for following so much. If you have ideas at all, you just shout them at me. I like just over testing. One of my friends had this brilliant idea of that's something we need to add in too. That's actually up next is a combo multiplier. So as you get swarmed, you'll get combos on kills if they happen frequently enough, and that in turn will drive up your weapon power, and that in turn allows you to fight down a swarm, because a lot of people said the swarm scale was just like, and you kind of felt like you were powerless to defeat the swarm. But if we give you a combo multiplier that can multiply your damage slowly up, then that way you can be empowered to defeat the swarm. And you want to make people feel awesome and empowered while enjoying and having fun, so that I think will be key. and it's not too difficult to implement. So yeah. Anyways, I rambled a long time, so there's a lot to go over. So yeah, I should totally do these once a week, not once every other week, because there's a lot to cover. But yeah, we're creeping up on our terrifyingly creeping up fast deadline. And so yes, but I'm pretty excited. Things are moving along just like as according to the schedule. That's as much of a miracle as that is. But they are. So anywho, yeah. Let me get burr there. Yeah, that was going to be a company's donut store, but they didn't want to go for it. I thought cross advertising. Oh well. But no, it's okay. It's totally understandable. What is it? So now it is to do or do not. Ah, ah. That's all Cobalt. He came up with that one. So, anyways, hope everybody has had a lovely last week and a half. 4th of July is coming up. Happy day off if you get the day off. I'll be here for half of it. Yeah, thank you again so incredibly much for following us along. We're starting to get towards the final stretch. And yeah, all of your follows and likes and comments mean the world to us. If you have any ideas, like, throw them at us. Like, really, like, the best ideas come from the most amazing places. Like, our coolest, funnest weapon was a friend who said, or Gina, who said, hey, you should do this. And I was like, that's genius. And then, like, the repulsor weapon that, like, sucked in the enemies and then blew them away, that was Chad. And he's like, you know what you're missing is this. And I'm like, that's a good idea. And I put it in, and I'm like, this is the funnest thing ever. So you never know where your ideas are going to come from, and some will come from you guys, if you have any. So guys and gals. So anyways, hope you all have a lovely 4th, and hope things are shiny out there, and I will catch you on the next one. Sorry it's so long-winded. Yeah. Anyways, yeah.